So, I'm not sure if y'all can hear me.
Virginia State University, Alabama University.
I'm not even sure if y'all can hear me. Hello.
Bethune-Cookman University, and Southern University. The schools urging students to remain vigilant.
Okay, so in this video, I literally say, in this video, throughout the video, I didn't even see this information. This information just got to me. 6:04 p.m. This information just got to me. I literally say in this video that the people that are going to be most affected by Charlie Kirk's death is going to be black people, not fucking Democrats, not hard radical leftists, not the white people, the white on white crime. This is a white on white crime. This is what I mean by even the motherfuckers that's supposedly Democratic and white, even them are still, they are harmful because of the first thing that they target. The first thing that those other motherfuckers will target is the people that has been supporting the Democratic Party for the longest. They have always been trying to wipe out black folks because of how hard they go when it comes to the Democratic election. So we are the casualties at war. So again, as much as I see people on the internet keying about Charlie Kirk dying, the real conversation that should be had is shit like this. They're gonna gloss over this shit, but nobody talks about the seriousness in the terrorism within this fucking country. Fuck white on white crime. I'm talking about these motherfuckers that are violent against us, not with physical harm, but with financial harm, with home crisis, homelessness within America. Who's predominantly homeless? Who's predominantly unemployed? Who's predominantly have healthcare issues or can't pay healthcare bills? It's like we are the first target when shit like this hit the fans. I'm gonna let it play, but again, this is Shed Sade. I'm gonna let it play though. Like, damn,
saying
bruh.
These lockdowns will be in place until further notice. NBC
They're
News
locking
correspondent
down
Stephen Romo is following the latest for us. It seems, Stephen, like we're getting even more campuses that are closing down just upon hearing what the other campuses are choosing to do.
That's true. And to be honest, it's been hard to keep up because we just keep getting new information from new campuses that are shutting down because of concern or because they've received direct threats from this. You mentioned we had Southern University as well. That's in Baton Rouge. Bethune-Cookman, which is in Daytona Beach. And interesting, Spelman University has that shelter-in-place order, but it's actually not received
Is this
any
not
specific
terrorism?
threats, they said, but the close proximity to Clark Atlanta University has made them, out of an abundance of caution, decide to issue a shelter-in-place just because of how close they
within
are.
our own
they
country,
have said
dog.
they're also increasing security just in case. We have statements from the other universities you mentioned as well. Virginia State University, Alabama University, Hampton University, and Hampton, Virginia. All of these statements so far seem pretty similar. They're saying they have received a threat directly to campus, and they are either asking people to stay off campus or issuing a lockdown order, a shelter-in-place order, so people stay where they are. There is a lot of concern here. Of course, the Charlie Kirk shooting happened on a college campus. We had the Colorado shooting at a high school yesterday as well. The heightened sense of tension is palpable in these students I've seen online replying to this. There's a very real fear. Having lockdowns on campus and these types of threats is not unheard of. It's pretty common, but all of these happening today, specifically at HBCUs, is causing a lot of concern.
Yeah, on top of it being 9/11 as well. It's really a dark day today. Stephen Romo, we appreciate it. Thank you so much.
I had no idea being a college parent was going to be this stressful. Y'all know my daughter's a freshman at a HBCU. Luckily, hers isn't on the list so far, but several HBCUs are receiving potential terror threats. What in the world? I'm praying for all the parents out there because my peace of mind is really under attack. Like,
How the fuck are they targeting?
Virginia State University.
How the fuck are they targeting motherfucking HBCUs when you had a white fucking person do that? Like, you go straight for black folks because it's low hanging fruit. I'm guessing. It's low-hanging fruit because it's like most of the times when you do this type of shit, you already got Trump saying that basically it's the leftists, it's the Democrats. You got Elon Musk saying it's the leftists, it's the Democrats. So basically that's the president and the right-hand mans of the president. They're basically saying that it's free ball. It's free ball. Again, I'm not saying that Charlie Kirk did not die he lived by the bullet and he died by the bullet. But for y'all motherfuckers to justify it and be like, well, he was Christian, and be like the copers, the motherfuckers that gotta cope with this shit, that are justifying the aspect of, yeah, he was Christian. He was Christian. He was Christian. He was peaceful. He just wanted to debate. This is the type of people he was debating for. You understand what I mean? So again, I say it in this video, when a fucking cat or even a rat is in a corner and he start fucking Sha'Carri Richardson toe tagging the motherfucker, okay? Putting the motherfucking beats on his mink on his ass. Even pull out a motherfucking, you feel me? Then it just comes with the cost, like you just said. Like he said, he lived by his own words. So how are black people being terrorized, dog? Again, I say in this video over and over again that the first thing that's going to be affected in this country when it comes to shit like this over and over again, it's going to be black folks. It's going to be black people, not white people. Even if it's a white issue, it's going to be black people that are going to be the first affected, if not the most affected. It's like, ain't no fucking way, dog.
Of tension is palpable in these students I've seen online replying to this.
For them to somehow blame
our refuge in this culture and this community that we do have.
Okay, so I needed to respond to this real quick. Y'all remember when I posted yesterday that I was silently waiting for them to somehow blame black men?
No.
Well, fast forward in less than 24 hours, and now they got multiple HBCUs on lockdown, and it's continuing to grow as we speak. I mean, the crazy thing about this is this whole Charlie Kirk situation had literally nothing to do with black people. I mean, the man picked the widest state, the widest environment to go, freaking Utah, where there's a -2% black people, to push his politics to other white students. Black people were nowhere in the scenario. He's surrounded by white people, in front of him, behind him, at the side of him, a sea of whiteness, and he gets unalived, presumably by white people. Black folks have literally nothing to do with the scenario. So it is crazy to me that yet and still, black folks are sitting over here catching strays over white on white crime. But honestly, I am unbothered. And I am not even like surprised or confused because we already knew this was going to happen.
I just said that. I just said this shit. I just said that before I even knew this video popped up. I said, no. I seen that shit Sade said, and I said, Black America target over Charlie Kirk's white on white. I said, bro, let me just listen to what she got to say. And I'm like, I see the fucking pop-ups of motherfuckers talking about they having to shut HBCUs down because they're threatening. People are literally calling these fucking schools and threatening violence upon these historically black colleges. What the fuck? Oh my God, dog. Y'all some goofy ass niggas, dog. Goofy ass fucking goof troop ass people, bruh. Goofy ass niggas,
like
dog.
An age-old strategy. And I also have to say, like, this is just a reminder of the environment that we are in.
Yeah.
This is why I preach heavily against worshiping white men specifically, and the whole hypergamy white boy era where like black women are basically looking at white dudes as their, insurance policy in a time when
that shit too.
White supremacy is raging. I'm like, y'all, that's hella dangerous. Yeah. And it's also just to set the record straight. Like, yeah, you have white folks out there who are wilding out. They are crazy. They are really in their fifis.
It's just weird, man. It's just fucking weird. Like Trey Sade goes into the aspect of the dating dynamics between black people, black women and black men, and that whole conversation is still nasty because it's like I said before in this video, I literally state how there's this young black woman, how she literally is saying, the whole Christian aspect of Charlie Kirk, that covers him for his rhetoric behind this whole, this whole gun on gun, like white on white crime type shit. You know what I mean? He lived by the bullet. He died by the bullet. That's it. But why are we being brought into this shit, dog? It's crazy, dog. But, you know, it's expected. It's crazy, but it's expected. And it's like, to the people that don't expect this type of behavior from them people, it just is what it is. I don't know what else to tell you. This is how the country works. They pick at the lower, the people that are at the bottom of the totem pole, for lack of better words. And we have always been at the bottom. Always. We've always tried to lift motherfuckers up to the top, even above us sometimes. I say sometimes, but predominantly most of the time. This motherfucker right here. So, excuse me, not motherfucker. I'm not talking about Kirk. I'm talking about this motherfucker. This is the second time I'm recording this shit again. So, Charlie Kirk, again, to all parties involved, rest in peace. But this is the bed that he made. Let's just call it what it is. This is the bed that he made. He said that he is willing to take a bullet. I mean, he didn't say he is willing to take a bullet, but he said that sometimes you have to have casualties of war to keep the rights of the amendments. I'm not going to hold you. As much as I understand that as a black person, we have casualties of war all the fucking time. It's just that it's not that big. It's not a Charlie Kirk situation. It's not like, it's not publicized a lot. You know, niggas die every day, B. You feel me? Niggas be tough. You feel me? Got to keep on pushing. It is what it is. Main thing is this, man. I see a lot of cope. I see a lot of coercion with these conversations that we having. And I see a lot of condemning the other side, you know, basically Republicans condemning Democrats and Democrats condemning the Republicans. I've seen it. I didn't like it when I seen it with the whole situation with Trump shit. Like, it was, you know, people was laughing at the shit because niggas was like, oh, he missed. Niggas was like thinking it was funny. It's the same thing with Luigi Maggioni. You know what I mean? I have the same sentiments with Luigi and Maggioni. I don't condone that type of violence, but when you push a motherfucker to an edge, it's kind of like the situation of, I just had a reference where you give me no fucking other option but to have to resort to violence on you. And again, I do not condone violence, but I also understand people that understand if I have nothing else to fucking lose, whatever they think nothing else is, this is what we get. You understand what I mean? And I'm not really going to talk too much on that side of the things of, you know, basically pushing people to the edge and literally doing these type of behaviors, because we see it all the time. This country is built on this, bro. Like, why are we acting like we don't know how this country is being ran? It's always been ran off of violence. It's always been ran off of violence. So if you somehow think that this is just so tragic and this is so bad, and I can't believe, and just scoffing at this country is built like you having your rights. Don't even, if you're a black person, you should understand that this is literally how this country is being ran. So, and I say that for a reason, because I had a follower of a beautiful black girl. And I say black girl because it shouldn't matter race and whatnot, and nationality shouldn't matter. It matters. It matters because this young lady, although she's black, all skin folk and kinfolk and all that good shit, but she's black, of African diaspora, and she was to the defense of Charlie Kirk. I remember her posting something in a sense to like almost empathize with Charlie Kirk and his takes against civil rights, and it threw me for a loop. It's like she was posting in it in a sense to say that these people are wrong, because it's almost like a retaliatory, it's almost like some petty shit, because Democrats versus Republicans type shit. And it's almost like when people have their messiah in those, as much as they say cults, I hate using that word as far as coming, but that's what it is. I mean, truth be told, that's what it is. To have people being shot over politics is like cult-like, you know what I mean? Like, they have cult-like behavior within both sides. Democrats and Republicans. You know what I mean? And it's why a lot of people, especially people that look like me, be like, fuck both sides. I don't want to deal with any Republican shit or Democratic shit, even if, because there's some Republican shit that could probably benefit me as a black person. There's certain Democratic shit that can probably help me as a black man in America too. But it's like they both that's one another thing I'd be thinking about is how people be talking about how they're both the same shit, just different fucking colors. You know what I mean? Crips and Bloods. Like, it's just the same shit, just different fucking colors in this shit, bruh. And it's like, I have a whole bunch of things to think about. But going back to the young lady in question, she posted some shit, and I really wish that I fucking screenshotted this shit, because it's like it was not screenshotted it. And I was so taken back, but I was also, it was understood because I knew that she was, I think that she is a conservative. Not sure if she's Republican, but I do think she's definitely traditionally conservative on her views and her takes, which is cool. I have no problem with traditionally conservative people. It's just that it was just kind of off-putting when it comes to the way that she put it out. It was in a sense to be retaliatory and against people that are for the death of Kirk. Again, I'm not for the death of Kirk. Kirk was like, if I get a bullet, I get a bullet. That's all a lot of people are saying. He was literally saying, if I get a bullet, I get a bullet. That's the cost of the price. I mean, that's the price of you know what I mean? That's the cost of this shit. It is what it is. And I think that there's two types of people that it's on the Democratic side, where they're saying, you know, there's the vehemently, this is what he fucking gets, and kikiing and laughing about the shit. You know, hey, I wouldn't laugh about that. You know what I mean? It is what it is. But I understand. You know what I mean? I try to mind my business. I try. But some of these motherfuckers do be on some kiki and shit. It is what it is. But that's just how this shit goes. They laugh about black people dying, man. It's not right. I'm not condoning it. But it's definitely a thing. But to think that motherfuckers is just like immune to this type of behavior when it comes to human beings, it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. And when I die, they probably gonna laugh about that shit. And I'm a nobody. You know what I mean? But I've seen situations where black men, black women have died, and it's been used as a punchline. You know what I mean? It's been used as a punchline to make a point about black people being violent or black people being somehow ignorant, or, I mean, it's how this country has always been ran. So again, equal lefts, equal rights in this situation. He gets it just like everybody else gets it. That's how my personal take on it. He gets the whoop-de-doo. He gets the whoop-de-doo. Just like everybody gets the whoop-de-doo. Okay? He gets it. It's like it is what it is. But to also talk about the aspect of, I wanted to first talk about the copers. That's what I believe that's why I said with her. I started with her. The copers. I wanted to talk about this aspect of. Well, let's first talk about what he's talked about, right? Gun violence to China virus. A look at Charlie Kirk's controversial takes. Washington's Charlie Kirk, who died Wednesday after being shot during an appearance at Utah Valley University, was one of the most high-profile conservative activists and media personalities in the United States. A close ally of President Donald Trump, 31-year-old Kirk was credited with playing a key role in convincing younger Americans to support Trump in last year's election. He was valued in Republican circles for his keen understanding of the party's MAGA, Make America Great Again movement. A prominent radio host and podcaster, Kirk has always had many critics who often accused him of promoting controversial and at times conspiratorial beliefs against liberal viewpoints on subjects like climate change, gun control, LGBTQ rights, and civil rights movement. The right-wing activist regularly hosted open-air debates on U.S. college campuses. That's your first mistake, because them motherfuckers, those young people are the ones that really be about their life, okay? Fielding rapid-fire questions in a signature prove-me-wrong format to debate college students on various topics to promote conservative narratives, just like he was doing on Wednesday when he was assassinated. Here's a look at some of Kirk's controversial takes on public issues. The reason why I have no problem with this, basically breaking down his bad shit, is because they do it to black people all the fucking time and nobody really talks about it enough. So speaking of Trayvon Martin, they broke down how he posted videos with guns, how he had guns in his, a couple of his social media Instagram. Same thing with George Floyd. I didn't even know, but I found out George Floyd was a whole porn star or some shit, or he said some shit about black people or black women. This is probably just conspiratorial shit anyway, but the main thing is that they break down a list of all of the bad shit, horrible shit that this person have done after they were just killed, even if it was wrongdoing by the other person's behalf. No, they're going to break that down. Equal lefts, equal rights. Hey, if black people get it, white people should get it too. And this is what they're doing. So I don't have a problem with it. As long as it's equal. That's how I feel. It just is what it is. And some people may disagree and say like, oh my God, why are you agreeing with the fact that they're breaking down? Nobody should have their wrongs broken down. No, because if you say something that leads to your death, you need to understand, well, not you because you're dead, but other people need to understand your words have power. You know what I mean? Like things that you say on these fucking internet streets to the world have power, even though you may not think that it's just words. You should not let them offend you. This is some shit that I can see Mr. Kirk saying this shit. You know what I mean? I can see him saying this type of shit. But now you understand, depending on the person, those words can either transfix you to do some horrible, diabolical shit, or they can corrupt you, or they can convince you to make a change because of your words. You know what I mean? It's neither here nor there, but on gun control 2023, Kirk said that gun deaths were worth it to ensure preservation of Second Amendment rights in the U.S., which is the right to keep and bear arms. It's worth it to have a cost of, unfortunately, some gun deaths every single year so that we can have the Second Amendment to protect our other God-given rights. That is a prudent deal, he said during an appearance at Salt Lake City campus of Awaken Church. I'm surprised the church said that. Allowed him to talk about this type of shit. Ironically, Kirk was answering a question about gun violence when he was shot dead. And even that wording is kind of like, it's like a little laugh, like a little tee-hee, because it's like clearly we've seen that he was shot dead, but maybe they could have used better wording. I don't know. Again, it's just the cost of it. It's just the cost of it because nobody really liked him because of this. And it's going to be a lot of journalists that use these type of wording to make it hit, make a little, death by a thousand needles type shit. But, because of the ironically part, it was just weird. On civil rights, in another 2023 event, Kirk had called civil rights leader Martin Luther King Jr. awful and not a good person, as he decried the Civil Rights Act of 1965, which outlawed discrimination based on race, religion, color, sex, and national origin, and prohibited segregation. I have a very, very radical view on this, but I can defend it. And I thought about it, Kirk said. We made a huge mistake when we passed the Civil Rights Act in 1960s. He said at a December 2023 political conference hosted by his Turning Points USA group. He claimed that the law ushered in a permanent bureaucracy meant to promote D, diversity, E, equity, and inclusion, I, DEI. Now, as much as I want to disagree with that point, I think about the aspect of, let's start first. I would not be able to stream on this fucking platform, talk to you the way I'm talking to you. YouTube probably wouldn't be YouTube, if you want to be honest with you. It'll probably be something else because of that big ass red logo. The job that I have, the rights that I do have, we need this. Sorry, we need this. Even if it is a DEI, we need this. Because if we did not have this, and I say we, I need this. People that look like me need this. And if you catch offense to the aspect of people that look like me needing the right to be able to be looked at as a human being, maybe it's a you issue. It's you, not it's me. You know what I mean? Because the fact that you look at me as less than human, that shouldn't be a fucking rocket science right there. But on the contrary, not to be a devil's advocate or anything, I understand how this can be looked at as a DEI. One, has this country really recovered from slavery? Is racism really gone? Is slavery even really gone? Prison systems is literally looked at like slavery. The job systems is literally looked at like fucking slavery. How are we in a country right now where even white folks that are well-to-do and well-off are literally complaining of the fact that their children are not able to actually go out there, get a job, and actually work? They have to literally come out their pocket. Let's just be honest. These white folks that have the money, that's actually well-to-do and actually older, they have to come out of their pocket to support their children because they cannot make it in America. Ta-da! Now that white people are being more and more affected, that's when America starts making it more a thing, taking it a little bit more serious. Because it's always been affecting black folks ever since the first actually freed slave. It's always been a thing when it comes to black communities. We are the most affected. I think about the aspect of even this death is going to affect black folks first. Because again, they're going to speak on Democrats, the radical Democrats, but who's predominantly supporting Democrats? Who's predominantly supporting Democrats, y'all? So why do you not think that this, as much as I want to say that black folks, this is none of our business, this is going to be our business. This is going to be our business. Sooner or later, this is going to be our business, because when the far right say shit like Trump and Elon Musk say shit like basically this is the far left's issue, the Democrats' issue, who supports the Democrats predominantly? So in war, when you have such a big support, you want to cripple that fucking support. You want to break that support down to where they can no longer, either they switch to the other side, you know what I mean? Retaliatory Democrats that go to the Republicans, or they break them, cripple them down so bad that they have no will to fight, which then it's a cause and effect, because then it returns to the whole aspect of then death is the next outcome. You know what I mean? Then you start doing shit like Luigi Maggione type shit. You understand? You're literally pitting even a rat in a corner will start to fight, start to Sha'Carri Richardson, a motherfucking cat. Like, it will literally start to defend itself, and probably might, depending on how big that rat is, he might tear that cat up to where the cat say it's not even worth the fight. Shit happens like that. Shit does happen like that. So the reason why I say black people are going to be the first people that's going to be affected is because who supports the Democratic Party predominantly? They're going to go after a lot of black jobs, DEI hires. We just seen 300,000 black women being fired for we don't know what the fuck. We don't know what the fuck. Black women are distraught. Okay? Distraught. And again, cause and effect, those black women are distraught, trying to find community, trying to find a semblance of what the fuck did I do wrong? I did all of this shit. I was literally watching a video earlier today about a black woman saying that I did all of these things in my 20s to make sure that I'm good in my 30s. And I'm realizing it's not enough, because it was never enough. You need to, baby. You need to, baby. Why you coming in the world without I say you coming in the world. Let's just be honest with you. I do believe in traditional family. I do. I'm sorry. You got me. I do believe in traditional family. And I think that a lot of these women that are in the Democratic Party and that support a lot of the Democrat shenanigans do not believe in a family. They believe in a community of women. That's just my hot take of that time. It just is what it is. But when I say that they will go after the Democratic Party, it's in insidious ways. You understand what I mean? So yes, they'll promote the aspect of you don't need a man. They'll go in the aspect of you don't need shit. You don't need women. There's some men that don't believe that they don't need women to be able to survive in this nation. You know what I mean? When it comes to bringing your finances together, bringing your life perspectives together, bringing family together. You know what I mean? I do believe in family. I do. I don't have one of my own. I hope to get one, God willing. But I do believe in the aspect of family. And with that being said, going back to the aspect of how many women that was fired over some dumb shit, I think that they would be in a better place if the women that were fired had a husband, not a boyfriend, but a husband. And I don't think that the day and age that we're living in, it's going to be a lot of marriages. I'm just going to be honest with you. Marriages is looked at by both men and women, just like how men and women look at the housing market. It's not a good deal right now. Maybe later in the future, but right now it's kind of looking fugazi. You feel me? But I say all that to say that it's gonna hurt a lot of people that look like me, bro. It's gonna hurt a lot of people that look like me, and that's just the name of the game with this country. Conspiracy theories. In March 2020, at the height of COVID-19 pandemic, the right-wing activist posted about the China virus, a phrase that was later adopted by President Trump in his first term. It says, in 2021, interview with Tucker Carlson, Kirk has also reported compared pandemic vaccine requirements to apartheid. In 2024, February, Instagram post, he also talked about the Great Replacement. A widely debunked conspiracy theory suggests that undocumented immigrants entering the United States replace white Americans. Stick a pin in that, because I just remember seeing 500 plus people. I think it was in Georgia, I'm not sure, but 500 plus illegal immigrants were found working at a factory. I'm not sure it was a Hyundai factory, but the main thing is that as much as they say that they're replacing white people, a lot of those jobs, those black jobs, as Trump would say, those jobs are jobs that they would rather give to an illegal immigrant. If we're going to be like, let's call it what it is. Let's just call it what it is. Because first, I don't have to pay taxes on you. You're illegal. You're illegal. I don't have to worry about your HR. You're illegal, buddy. You're getting paid under the table. Again, it affects black people. We don't want to talk about this shit, but it affects black people, because guess what? It's not a lot of white people that's applying for those black jobs. You understand what I mean? It's a lot of immigrants that's applying for those black jobs. I've even heard the conversation about black people not feeling as though that certain jobs there is beneath them. Listen to me. What the fuck is that? The fuck is that? Is that some motherfucking Elon Musk ad? I'm like, what the fuck is that? But yeah, I can understand the aspect of people saying that some jobs is beneath them. Listen, that's the bourgeoisie black folk. I ain't even talk about them, bro. I ain't even talk about them. That's the motherfuckers that believe racism don't exist. Those niggas, they ain't like us, okay? They are not like us. We need jobs, so we gonna apply for the jobs we need to get. Like, I remember at a point in time, I was like, bro, let me be a janitor. Let me motherfucking work at McDonald's, dog. It was bad. It was bad out here. I was trying to get a job, but I was like at 16 too. So it's like, I guess it is a line, right? Because it's like at 30 years old, I shouldn't be 30 years old trying to apply for a McDonald's job because I can't find no jobs. But then that goes into the problem of why isn't people hiring? You know what I mean? Or who are they hiring? Clearly, not under the table shit. You know what I mean? Because that's what I mean by, like, they're not replacing white folks, bruh. And yes, they may be replacing poor white folks, but it's like at this point, like, poor white folks to some white people is like the people that make $300,000 a year. You know what I mean? Like, that's poor to them. It ain't like that. That's what I mean. Like, and it's not clearly, it's not all. Don't get the all police on me. It's not all, but I'm just saying it's a lot of black folks that make less than 40 to 50,000 a year. There's a lot of white people that make that much too, but if you want to talk about the aspect of how many people in America go to jail and how many people in America there are, you know what I mean? Or unemployment. How many people in America that are unemployed? How many people in America that are white and unemployed? How many people in America that are black and unemployed? How many people in America that are white and unemployed? You know what I mean? Like, let's call it what it is. Like, it's definitely a disparity between the groups. We've always been talking about that. But again, replacement, the big replacement theory. I think that Kirk was onto something. He just was onto something with the wrong folks. That's all. That's just my theory. A game theory, head ass. Kirk was 18 years old when he co-founded Turning Point in suburban Chicago in 2012 with William Montgomery, a Tea Party activist. They aimed to take their ideas for low taxes and limited government to college campuses. Turning Point enthusiastically backed Trump after he clinched the GOP nomination for president in 2016. Kirk served as a personal aide to the then candidate's eldest son, Donald Trump Jr., during the general election campaign. That's why he was, you feel me? The Trump connection helped fuel Turning Point's rise to prominence. Soon, Kirk was a regular presence on cable TV, where he learned into the culture wars. He heaped praise on the president. Contributions to the group doubled and tripled, eventually climbing to 79 million, according to an analysis of publicly available tax filings. The group states that it now has a presence on nearly 4,000 high school and college campuses, operating as a conservative lifestyle brand that promotes hundreds of online influencers. I got a feeling that Candace Owens is in that group. Provocative remarks. Kirk was known for provocative statements on race that he used to court Gen Z voters. I'm sorry. If I see a black pilot, I'm going to be like, boy, I hope he's qualified. You just gotta laugh and shit like that, bro. I'd be like, the thing that be popping up my head be like, what do you mean by that? Because it's like, this is how this country has always been ran. If you don't fucking laugh to keep from fucking pulling your fucking eyeballs out, like literally gouging them shits out and being like, what the fuck is this? Our grandfathers went through this. Our great grandfathers went through this. Our great great grandfathers went through this. Our great 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 grandfathers went through this. It's like, it just, our forefathers, our foremothers have went through this as black folks that are based in this country. All the immigrants, they probably don't know about this. This is why we have this whole diaspora war, because they don't know about racism within America. They just don't know about racism with their own countries, which is cool. It's just that don't bring your shit over here, bro. Kirk staunchly opposed the enactment of Juneteenth as a federal holiday. He said that the move to elevate the date was motivated by an anti-American sentiment that promoted a neo-segregationist view that he claimed sought to supplant Independence Day. He's a wild boy. He just like throwing shit at the wall and see what sticks. That's all this shit was, is just throwing shit at the wall and see what sticks when it comes to his cult-like following. But again, you know, he said what he said. Sometimes a bullet is necessary. It's worth it, is what he said. It's worth it to have a cost of unfortunately some gun deaths every single year so that we can have the Second Amendment to protect our God-given rights. That is a prudent deal. That's what he said. But this is what I mean by the cope aspect. Oh, this is not even.
Let me say that it really
talking about something completely different. I'm just clicking on everything wrong, boy. I'm just watching a whole bunch of shit. Don't mind me. All right, this is the one. All right, this is the one. Jesus Christ.
Death of Charlie Kirk for a couple reasons. Number one, I mourn for his wife. I mourn for his children.
Of course.
I mourn for his loved ones.
Of course.
I mourn for all of those that loved him. And as a human who has empathy, regardless of your political views or where you stand on the aisle, right now it's time to mourn with those that are mourning and weep with those that are weeping. Yeah. And so that is what I'm literally and figuratively doing. When I look into so much of what people love and loved Charlie Kirk for, I'm like, okay, Emmanuel, your empathy is birthed from a belief that no person should die before their time, and absolutely no person should die.
When you say before their time, do you mean their time in human stance or their time in God's? Because that's what we, as much as we talk about these conversations, since we're on the topic, who are we to know when a person's time is? I'm just saying, you said before their time. You're not God, so you don't know that. You know what I mean? We are not him, so we do not know what he has in store for us. You know what I mean? Like, there's been times where I be thinking about that my damn self. But, you know, that's just my little thoughts on that little tidbit.
As a result of gun violence, especially outside of war. But Charlie Kirk, he proudly stated that death by guns is a price we have to pay for our Second Amendment right. I've just been in turmoil all day and my heart is hurt. It's been heavy. It's been weeping for his family. It's been weeping for his loved ones. And I don't really know the words to share, because the moment I want to share like another senseless death because of a gun and because of gun violence, I'm reminded that some people believe, hey, it's worth it. And Charlie Kirk said, hey, it's worth it. People will die by guns to protect our Second Amendment rights. I'm heartbroken.
So he said that it's worth it. He took a bullet. Like, he got a bullet. You feel me? Rest in peace. But he said that it was worth it. And agreeing, I agree with you. Like, I do not think that people should be out here just being, taking bullets. I don't. But the man definitely did say that it's worth it. He said it's worth it. He said it's worth it for your rights. He said it's worth taking a bullet on some random shit for your rights. The thing is about that is, come here. The thing about it that is, he wasn't talking about people that look like him. That's what nobody wants to talk about. That's what nobody wants to talk about. So when we have these conversations, I get it. Empathy. He's got the whole sad music in the background.
And devastated.
And he's devastated and heartbroken. Is Emmanuel a fucking priest or a pastor or some shit? Does he preach is he a pastor? Is he a pastor, y'all? I don't know. I clearly don't know. I know he does the NFL shit, right? Uncomfortable. Oh, so he's a podcaster. Okay. I'm like, what is he doing? Because he was also caught up in the Joy Taylor shit. Y'all know what I feel about the Joy Taylor shit. Joy Taylor is fine as fuck, but she is dangerous. Like, it's venom seeping off of that woman. Like, literally venom seeping off of that woman, how fine she is. But I know to leave, let the loan alone. She's the type to be like, I never had a chance. That's cool. But for all the niggas that do got a chance, stay dangerous. Stay dangerous. That's all I'm gonna say about that. But that's neither here nor there. The main thing is this. Emmanuel is the type of man that has an audience that I just, looking at his page, looking at what he represents, what he's promoted throughout his years of being on the media service, I don't think he has a lot of people that look like, oh, fuck. How my temperature too high? It is what it is. It is what it is. But yeah, I don't think he has a audience that looks like me. I'm gonna just say that. I don't. And it's also bad when you have that whole situation where it seems as though I also put it like this. Just like every other influencer, every other content creator, they want to make sure that they have good standing with their base, their creation base, their cultivation of followers. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying that this is what he's doing, but I'm saying that this is what he's doing. I really do think that he's basically trying to let the people that follow him know, hey, this is bad. This is horrible. Oh, my God, I can't believe this. And yes, he did say that, we still have to, have the right to bear arms. And sometimes you have to take a bullet. But it's like I'm stuck between a rock and a hard place because I do want to promote peace and we shouldn't do this. But he did say that fuck peace. You know what I mean? Listen, the man said that he is willing to be on this side of history. It just so happens that the side of history that he thought that he was on, you know what I mean? Like, clearly does not fuck with him. But that's neither here nor there. I'm going to look at some other Charlie Kirk information. There's just a lot of people that were just coping for Charlie Kirk. And that's crazy. He just posted this shit 1 day ago. This can't be the same fucking... I mean, it is Thursday, though. So I guess it was already posted, regular posting. Charlie Kirk crushes woke lies in Michigan State. So yeah, basically he's just making his millions and millions off of political hard takes. Look, even this Emmanuel Achio. She's like, we know what you're doing, buddy. Like, we know what you're doing. Look at this views. 640,000 views. It's okay. It's like, we know what you're doing. Whoever that dude is, they're gonna definitely say that old boy is a person of color. At the very least, he's Democratic. It just is what it is, man. It just is what it is. But again, they're gonna go for no compromise with evil. God is with Charlie Kirk and his family. Charlie and his family. Utah police give updates on Charlie Kirk shooter as manhunt AOC on political rhetoric after Charlie Kirk shooting. I don't really trust AOC either. I'm not gonna hold you. She be giving me vibes that she is literally the one that probably paid these motherfuckers to do what they do. That's just my little hot take on that. I'm being facetious, but it's like she's not for black folks. Let me just say that. She's not for black folks, but meanwhile, she's somehow for quote unquote. I think it's just like a grifting type of shit. I got a lot of views on AOC. She's dangerous. That's all I'm gonna say. She's dangerous. I don't know why. I just don't trust her. I don't. She said a lot of things when it pertains to black folks, but meanwhile, black folks make up a predominant amount of the Democratic Party. But then when it comes to immigration, it's just like a whole different, like it's a whole different ball game with her. It's weird, man. It's weird. But again, it just is what it is. Got all this coverage over a man that has said the shit that he said that we went over. And niggas getting shot in the hood every day. Not a damn thing. You know what I mean? It's kind of like it's supposed to happen. I'm sorry, but I'm cool on a lot of this shit, bruh. I'm cool on a lot of this shit. They, once again, just the algorithms telling us what to care about at the point in time. This is going to be a has-been type of thing, too. Let me see. Luigi Maggione. What they talking about that? Oh, boy. Let's see what they talk about. Luigi Maggione. See something. Luigi Maggione. Court appearance. That's weird. Have Dave Franco ever pretended to be Luigi Maggione to get dinner? What the fuck? That's weird. And it's like even Vanity Fair. It's like it's a joke. It's jokey jokes. It's like that shouldn't even, Dave Franco shouldn't even allow that type of behavior from, you know what I mean? And I'm not a conservative. I don't agree that death should be laughed about, especially in these professional major conglomerate spaces. You know what I mean? This shouldn't be a thing to be talked about. But again, because I don't agree with Luigi Maggione's doing what he did. Because again, he went through what he went through. And he was pushed to that limit. But again, I'm not him, right? I'm not him. I don't know what the fuck he's went through. I don't know what the fuck his will, his capacity. You know what I mean? As much as we talk about this on this channel, I don't know what his capacity to handle pressure. But black folks have been handling pressure for over 400 fucking plus years. And we are still lambastic with takes that is like, nobody empathizes with us. Nobody's, you know what I mean, sympathizes with us. Nobody gives a fuck. And these white folks get all of this coverage, get all of this empathy, get these hot takes from Vanity Fair. Has Dave Franco ever pretended to be Luigi Maggione's get dinner reservations? It's like it's kiki and shit. I don't like the shit with the Charlie Kirk shit with that I read, basically talking about you know, he was shot dead during his last thing, as if to say, like, you know, ironically. It's like clearly that's ironic. Yes, we get that. But you know for a fact that as a journalist could have worded that a little bit more respectfully. It is what it is. And it's for the jokes. It's for the laughs. It's for the clicks. It's clickbait shit. You know what I mean? A lot of this shit is just like it's smoke and mirrors, dog. A lot of this shit is smoke and mirrors. I wanted to like this one post that I seen recently by this cipher. Let me go to this nigga page actually, because I know he posted about it. I want to just hear his views, and we're just gonna end it off on that. We're gonna read this. Nobody deserves to die.
Deserves to die is the lullaby we teach to quiet the ache. And I don't deny the ache, because some people see death overall as a tragedy. And I understand the perspective on the surface level. I'm just saying that ache is not the same thing as the truth. Let's talk about the first one. They had a family. Yes, they did. But so did the Pharaoh. So did every general who marched nations into graves. I just want you to understand, collapse does not pause because someone at home loves you. That's not how world logic works. If you weld your body to a collapsing system, I mean a relationship, a job, a marriage, a country, a party, an empire, whatever you want. You don't get to hide behind your children. Who told you that? Your allegiance becomes their inheritance. And collapse does not ask permission before it tears through bloodlines. Every empire that has ever...
I was thinking about the aspect of, I think I'm not sure if I said it in this video, but when they went down the list of the things that Charlie Kirk has said right after he died to basically justify his death. You know what it reminds me of? Trayvon Martin. If y'all know, you know. When Trayvon Martin died, they went down a list of all of the pictures that Trayvon Martin had. This is going to the Cypher's take right now. They made a list of all of the pictures that Trayvon Martin has had with him holding a gun. It was like gang-related activity. Oh, well, he's doing gang-related things, and he's actually promoting violence because he has a gun in his pictures, and he's got a red and blue or black flag on a bandana on his pictures, and you know what I mean. Same thing with George Floyd. I didn't even know that. Well, I'm not sure if this is even true, but I'm hearing that the motherfucker had takes on black women that he shouldn't have had takes on. Okay, same thing with he was doing porn on some shit. It's like, why do I know that this about that? But again, cool. Y'all do this to black folks. Do it to white folks too. And that's why I'm like equal lefts, equal rights. Equal lefts, equal rights. Because they did the same shit, ran down a list of all of the bullshit, the fuck shit. But mind you, there's still insidious nature in that, right? Because they only do it if you are not the darling of the party, for lack of better words. You know what I mean? So if conservatives don't fuck with you, or if liberals don't fuck with you, then that's when they'll do it. But if you're basically on the fence, like on some AOC type shit, you're not going to run down the list. They're not going to have multiple back-to-back type shits. I mean, that's neither here nor there.
Ever fallen in world history was full of families on both sides. Every oppressor was someone's father. Collapse does not discriminate. That's what I'm trying to tell you. It unravels whatever is sewn into its fabric. Let's just say they were misunderstood. Let's talk about another one. They were misunderstood. No. They are not the thing we're misunderstanding. We're talking about the distortion. Distortion is not a mistranslation. Collapse is not a word problem. They weren't misunderstood. They were committed. Their body carried the system. Let's talk about what could have changed. They could have changed. Maybe, but anybody could have changed. Possibility is not presence, though. Could have changed is not a ghost. It's not an abstraction. It's a step. And until that step.
Mine said possibility isn't a presence. I fuck with that. Because it's like, yes, he could have been a better man. You know what I mean? But it wasn't present at the time. I fuck with that. It's a lot of things that Cypher be saying that I'd be like, bruh, ain't no way. But again, I don't condone violence, right? I don't. But at the same time, I understand the aspect of if you live by the bullet, you die by the bullet. It just is what it is.
Is taken, they remain fabric sewn to distortion, and the veil never waited for a what if. The terror comes, the fabric unravels. Let's talk about the good they did, though. Let's talk about the good they did. This happens with people like old Republican presidents all the time. Pharaohs built monuments. Rome built roads. Every empire hid scraps of good in its teeth, but a smile does not cancel out the blood beneath it. I promise you. Collapse is...
A smile does not cancel out the blood beneath.
It's not paused by anyone's resume. They didn't know any better, though. They didn't know any better.
That's what they were saying with Kirk. That's what they were saying with Kirk. He didn't know any better type shit.
I'm alive. When the person in specific is a criminal. Ignorance can excuse error, but not persistence. Not when the warning stood before.
Same thing when it comes to I'm a equal lefts, equal rights, right? They said the same thing with Trayvon Martin. He didn't know any better, right? George Floyd, they didn't know any better. It's the same thing what they be saying. Black folks be saying about basically black folks dying. Like I'll be thinking about the recent incident with the black boy. He was in his 20s and he was in his car, not doing anything. They're telling him to get out the car. He is literally not getting out the car because he says that he is not violating his any rights. If you know how this country goes, he could have lost his life because he did not just listen. He didn't just listen because he wanted to be on some I have rights in this country. He could have lost all rights based off of not having rights in that present moment, right? What's you know what I mean? It's like the chicken or the egg. What comes first? Do you literally act on your rights and lose your life, have the possibility of losing your life because you want to basically fight for your rights in this country that doesn't give a fuck about you in your first place? You understand what I mean? Or do you want to live and survive and then sue after the fact? You want to sue after the fact. In my court, in my public opinion, you want to sue after the fact because at least you get to live. At the very least, you get to fucking live, my nigga. But again, I know some motherfuckers, but well, I'd rather just kill myself. I'd rather just jump off the boat on some Killmonger type shit. Cool. Be a hero, my nigga. Go be Killmonger and die, and nobody ever thinks about you ever again. Go do that. You feel me?
before them. Not when the warning stood before them, and they still welded their breath to distortion. At some point, not knowing becomes not caring, and not caring naturally leads to collapse.
Exactly.
I'm just saying. Let's talk about the most devious one, right? Most devious one. God wouldn't have wanted this. Scripture itself disagrees. Egypt's firstborn, Korah swallowed alive. The two women who fell to their death at Peter's feet. The Bible does not hide collapse. It records it not as murder, but as consequence. Not as cruelty, but as tearing. So no, overall, family, misunderstanding, possibility, charity, ignorance, even God's supposed reluctance. None of these can undo the consequence of welding your body to distortion.
Yep. I completely agree. Basically, he's saying that everything that it's the consequence of Kirk's distorted views of the reality of this nation, of what he called the fucking civil rights or DEI, which I understand, but it's a distortion of what that was. I understand the aspect of how him as a white man can look at it as a DEI. I'm not a white man, but I can see how you look at it as a white man, as a diversity inclusive type of thing. You know what I mean? Because clearly you're not truly making black folks wealthier. You're not literally making them equal to us as white folks. You're just trying to give them a little way up, a little step up, give them a little bit of crumbs every now and then. You know what I mean? Give them a couple of rights. You know what I mean? Not all the rights, but just a couple. It's a distortion of reality.
To a collapsing system. In general, it cannot save you. I want you to take this for yourself, right? Because this is a real sketchy time, but all those excuses not gonna cut it. I'll even say them again. Family, misunderstanding, possibility, charity, ignorance, even God's supposed reluctance, none of those will save your life. Understand the phrase "nobody deserves to die."
That's all you got, folks. That's really all I need to say, right? That's really all I need to fucking say. Because truth be told, it's a lot of people that's supposedly it's a lot of folks that look like me that's supposedly against violence, but they're for his views. And it's like his views was violence. You know what I mean? His views were, although they weren't physical violence, the distortion of reality is still violent by the consequences, by not knowing enough, by not doing the research, by not being empathetic on the other side. You understand what I mean? So again, you get enough of that, these are the consequences that you got. I'm gonna leave it at that, man. To all parties involved, I don't wish death upon nobody. I'm just gonna be honest with you. I don't. Even with the Luigi Maggione, with the corporate, I don't wish death upon nobody. But don't get it twisted. These are the beds that they have made. Let's keep it a buck. Stop the cope on the other side, Republicans and conservatives. These are the beds that these people have made. These are the beds that these people have made, dog. It's like y'all have created the festering, the cesspool of hatred, of insidious nature of not giving a fuck, but acting like you give a fuck, or acting like you care, or acting like you don't know enough, or acting like, you know what I mean? It's like you cultivate that shit enough. If it wasn't the fucking far left the radical left that was gonna do this, it was the radical right that was gonna do something on the other side, that has been doing stuff on the other side that the news doesn't talk about. Not enough, at the very least. Just is what it is, man. This country is like it's a gift and a curse. It's not that I don't appreciate the fact that I'm here and I'm able to do what I can do, but when shit hits the fan, dog, that's when you realize, are you a fucking citizen or not? That's when you really know, okay, what do these people look at me like? You know what I mean? And I've been close enough to the fire to realize what the fuck they look at me like. Not saying not all police, so don't come for me again. But it's enough to let me know what type of time I need to move on and keep my head on the swivel. Like that, we gone, man. Bun. Okay.